Hello viewers, today we are on a Mazda3 2010 with a 2-liter engine. We might have a problem with the bearing, and specifically on front wheel bearing, because I clearly hear the vibration on my side. So it looks like when I turn to the right, the vibration, it goes louder. So that means we have a front left bearing. We're gonna check if your diagnostic is correct. So we're gonna go and check it out right now. So as I said, we are suspecting is the left side. So we're gonna put the transmission in neutral. We're gonna spin the wheel and see if we have any vibrations, and then we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. This case is an automatic car, so we're gonna put on neutral. We're gonna block the wheels on the back if it's possible, just to make sure the car doesn't wiggle around. What I do here is gonna, first of all, feel that it has any looseness on horizontal and vertical also as well. But I feel like it's tight, diagonal, everything is tight. So that means we're just having a noise. And when you have a bad bearing, it's not necessary you're gonna have a loose wheel. It can be only the vibration itself. I can clearly hear the vibration right now. I don't know if you can catch it by the camera, but even I'm touching with my hand here on the coil spring, and I can clearly feel the vibration. We're gonna go on the other side, and we're gonna see if we have the same results. And we did the same technique. I don't know, get the camera closer, but I don't hear any buzzing sound, no grounding noise. I put my hand on the coil spring and I feel no vibration at all. So we confirm is our driver's side. So we're gonna start with the process, how we do it, and let's go there. Let's get to it. 21 millimeters box with a long ratchet is recommended. 2 loose up, break loose the 5 nuts from the wheel. We're gonna remove it, and we're going to continue. We're going to find this. This is where the bearing lives inside here. So we're gonna have to remove the whole knuckle. We can help a little bit if you turn the wheel to get access to the 2 bolts that hold in the caliper. We're gonna have to remove the caliper. We're gonna have to remove the disc. We're gonna have to disconnect from the strut. Well, my friends, we're gonna start removing this big nut that is holding the transmission shaft, and for that we're gonna use a 32 millimeter box. I put some pennant lubricant, as you can see, and I would recommend you to break this loose when the car is on the floor, but you can also put a screwdriver here in between the disc and block it against the caliper, so like this the disc won't spin around. And wish me good luck. Yeah, baby, that's it. You know, one of the good things to work on the street is to keep in shape. Whoa. I'm not going to get this out completely, just to make sure I don't damage the threads, and I'm gonna smash it a little bit to see if I break loose the shaft. Yeah, it's moving, so we're doing good. Now we can get this nut out of the way. Wow. And as you can see, you have a little hole in the center, so you can use your chisel to push it completely. Just like that. The 2 bolts that I told you that's holding the caliper, I'm using a 17 millimeter box, and as you can see, this type of box, it has a I can wiggle it around. You can always use a normal, and I'm using also a little extension, 1/2 inch drive to break it loose. Oh, yep. And we're gonna do the same thing with the bottom, and we're gonna remove the whole caliper. Now we're ready to get our caliper out of the way. And just a tip that I don't want you to leave this caliper hanging around because you can damage the hose. So what I'm using is a bungee, and I'm gonna hang it by the strut like that. So also we get it out of the way because we're gonna be hitting we're gonna use our hammer to hammer this down so we can disconnect it from the strut. We're gonna disconnect the ABS cable, the connector that connects to the captor, and for that we're gonna press this with the thumb right here, and then we're gonna pull out carefully, just holding by the connector. Don't pull the cables, okay, because we can damage. We're gonna wiggle it around until you get out. This can get stuck by the dust, so just make sure don't break it, and otherwise you will have to replace the whole captors, and we don't want that. So you can also use some brake cleaner to remove the dust. Look, I wiggle it around and finally get out. So we're gonna put it on the side. I put some lubricant previously, so it's gonna help us to remove all this rust, especially here in Quebec that we suffer a lot for the rust. So we're gonna have to remove the disconnect for the ball joint. As you can see, you have a bolt and you have a nut on the other side. Same thing as the strut on the top. So we're gonna let it sit a little bit, a couple of minutes, to see if it helps us to break them loose. And also we're gonna have to remove this tire end from this. I put some lubricant to help us also as well. We have some pin. We're gonna get it out. That as easy as that. I think it's a 40 millimeter. Well, I'm using a 40 millimeter. I was right, with an extension and a long ratchet. Like this, I will have a little bit more leverage to break it loose. Wow, a little bit tight. That's it. All right. I'm going to remove this nut, and we're gonna hit with the hammer here. Even though I know there's a tool to remove this, but don't worry, you can hit this slightly, exactly here, to pop it loose, and you should have no problem with it. Remove the nut completely, like this. If you break it loose and the nut is tight, you don't want this to spin. The whole thing is gonna be harder to take it out. So I will love first to take the nut out of the way. All right, so now we're ready to break it loose. We're gonna hit it right there. Just make sure you don't hit the threads here because it's gonna be bad. As simple as that. So we're gonna hold with the 40 millimeter here, and we have a nut on the other side, 40 millimeter too. All right, so we're gonna try to break it loose. All right. I'm gonna leave the nut a little bit. I'm not going to get it out completely. So I'm gonna try to hit it with the hammer a little bit to see if the ball moves. At the same time, I'm gonna try to spin it by the back and see if the ball spins a little bit, break loose the rust. Oh, actually it's pretty easy. So we don't have to. We're gonna use the hammer a little. We're gonna hammer it around a little. So you can, I'm using this chisel. You can remove it pretty easy like this without damaging the threads. That's it. As you can see, we have a lot of lubricant there. Hopefully it's not too tight to remove it. I'm gonna hammer with the hammer here, and we'll see if it works. As you can see, I'm hammering this down, but sometimes these ball joints can get pretty stuck with the rust. Just make sure you don't hit directly the ball joint, especially the rubber that is holding the grease, to avoid damaging your ball joint. Well, we're gonna use a 17mm box for the top bolts that is holding your knuckle with the strut. So we're gonna give it a chance to see if the lubricant works. Oh yeah, this is my lucky day in Quebec. All right, we're gonna get this out, and then we're gonna smash it down with a hammer carefully to break it loose, and we're gonna be almost ready to go. Oh, look how that rust is coming out of there. Wow, this lubricant really works, especially formulated for the mechanics here in Quebec. That's it. All right, now we have everything disconnected. We're gonna try to hammer this down to trying to get it out of the knuckle. That's it, we're ready. Wish me luck. It's breaking loose. Oh, we got it. Finally. Well, recommend you. We have to take the disc out of the way anyways, so but you get the idea. I'm gonna try to hit it here, so trying to break it loose. We're gonna have to get it out anyways. That's it. I don't know if you can catch it, but hear the noise. That's our buzzing sound. Look at that. Now, from this point, as you wish, you can use the tool to try to remove the bearing that is pressed inside here, or you can just take it to the shop and ask a mechanic to press it down. It should not be expensive. And you can take this whole thing, take it to the shop, they press it down, and then come back and install it. So I think will be the easiest way to do. All right, guys, I just came back from the shop, so we're ready to install it. Well, as you can see, guys, the installation is the opposite of removal. So I just want to say thank you for watching my video until this point. If you have any comment, please leave it down below, and I hope this information was helpful to you. And please consider subscribing. So I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.